Nigel, let's reflect finally on that excellent performance and result on Saturday against Oldham Athletic. Where does it rank in terms of best performances under you?
Well, I think it was right up there because Oldham are an extremely dangerous team, highest scorers in the league, although they've conceded the most. They're a very dangerous team, and apart from that sort of one error, we didn't really give them a sniff. I thought right from the first minute, we could have scored 3 in the first sort of 5 or 10 minutes, and I think that set the tone for the game. It was about our intent of how we went about it and how we want to approach games at home. We've tried to do it in the vast majority of games, even against the top sides. Don't want to sit back at home. I want to take the game to the opposition, put them on the back foot and try and keep them there.
Was that, simply put, the plan of attack?
Yeah, it is on every home game, you know. So, when you look back at, although we didn't get the results, you know, the Carlisles, the Forest Greens and, you know, Cheltenhams and things like that where we did, have been very, very similar. We've had we have the majority possession usually, and certainly more shots than the opposition in a lot of home games this season. So it's about converting a bigger proportion of those chances.
We head into the final game of the campaign on Saturday, away at Port Vale. Let's get a roll call from you. Firstly, Clough, has he got a chance?
Yeah, he has. It's just how much we risk him. We don't want him to do any more damage to his ankle that could sort of runs in then to, you know, most of May when he's injured. Although we've got no games, you want players going into the break fit so they can get cracking again when they've had the rest sort of start of June and start ticking over and building up for pre-season. So we'll see whether we're going to risk him or not, but hopefully he'll be back.
What about Farron Lawson?
Similar. He's back down to train on Wednesday morning, so but I'm very sort of wary in these situations with head injuries. Even in the middle of a season, you know, with things to play for, we don't tend to take chances with these sorts of things. So with one game to go with not much to play for, I don't think we'll be risking him.
You'll know what I mean by this, but might the foot be taken slightly off the pedal on Saturday, bearing in mind it is the last game of the season, because you won't want any risk of any injuries at all heading into the close season, then into the pre-season?
You don't, but you can't go into a game thinking about that. You've got to go into a game thinking we're going to win it. And we want to finish. We've won 3 out of the last 4. I thought we played very well at Salford first half in our defeat, and should have had something from that game. So we want to go into the summer, and as a player, don't think about injuries, just think about winning the game.
What about Port Vale? Let's speak about them for a moment. Darrell Clarke taking over some months ago, difficult start, but since he got over that, what an excellent job he's done.
Yep, I think it took him, you know, a month or so, and that just shows a sort of change of style, or, you know, to have an impact. It's very difficult in a short space of time, and it looked as though they were going to be sort of dragged into it at one stage, and then when they went on this unbelievable run and won 6 or 7 straight, which is unbelievably difficult to do in this league, and they find themselves halfway up the league. And I think one of those teams as well that they'll be thinking similar to ourselves, that they can push for that top 6 or 7 maybe next year if they get a bit of luck and the right players in. I don't think they'll be far away with him in charge.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, because it looks from the outside like they're starting to build an impressive infrastructure there under new owners.
Yep.
Director of Football David Flitcroft, who's done well at this level, and Darrell Clarke, another man very experienced and successful at this level as well. Can you therefore see them being title contenders for next season, perhaps top 3?
Yeah, maybe. It depends on the recruitment in the summer. Like with a lot of us, who we manage to get in will dictate how strong we are and how much we can contend for promotion. So we'll know early season, I think, maybe even during the summer when we see who they get in. But as I say, they're one of those clubs, they're putting everything in place, and I think having the experience of David Flitcroft around as well do nothing but help.
And just a word back here, we mentioned on Saturday after the match about prospective new signings. Just a small update, if you would, on that.
Once again, we're chasing. We've made contact with them all. And I think, as we said after the game, nobody's turned us down flat yet. So we'll try and get sort of 2 or 3 in early if we can. I think that's always a good start. And also it shows other potential signings that we mean business. And if we can get the 6 or 8 in that were first choice ones, we'll be very, very happy with our squad. So we'll do our best to chase them as best we can.
And finally from me, yesterday we saw photos of the One Call Stadium playing surface being taken apart, taken up. How much say, Nigel, have you had, or do you have, on the pitch ahead of next season in terms of its renovation now?
Well, we had a meeting with the contractors a couple of months ago, and it was all, with the groundsman, it was all put in place. It was pretty obvious that we've had problems this season with it, and it's great that the club are investing in it, and the owners are investing in the pitch. We need the best playing surface we can. You've seen us try and play football, I think, in the last few months as well. So the best surface we can will help that. And it's brilliant, I think, even before the end of the season that you see the work started, and it'll all be in good shape. I think we've got a pre-season friendly planned 10 days before the start of the season at home on a Tuesday night. It'd be lovely to see a great pitch with some supporters back in the stadium. In
relation to the pitch, Nigel, what depth do you go into? Are you the type of manager to say to the groundsman, listen, let's take it in, let's make it narrower, let's make it longer, that type of thing? How much depth do you go into?
No, the size of the pitch isn't of a great relevance to us. We're happy with the size that it is now, so that's not a problem. We just want a good surface. We want it slick if we can, and wet for home games, so that we can pass the ball around. The quicker the better, the pitch for us, if we're going to play football.
And from what you said a little earlier on in this interview, it sounds like you've pretty much cemented the pre-season friendly schedule already.
Yeah, we're just about done. I think we're waiting for confirmation on one or two, but Dave Waldy's put the programme together. We do it both for the off-season programme, the players, where they're scheduled to have a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks rest in May, and then they start building up in June, ready to come back early July. So yeah, that's very much in place already.
So just the one home pre-season friendly. What a match that could be. I know you can't obviously yet reveal the opponents, but just for the fact that there might be supporters back in the ground.
Yeah, that'll be special. It might not be 100%. Well, capacity we don't think we'd fill it for a pre-season game anyway. So, but it would be nice just to get any supporters back in, and hopefully it'll look a lot different with a new pitch and a few supporters in. It'll be a lot different prospect playing next season, we hope.